You're watching FNN, the FUKK News Network.
This program contains subject matter and language that may be disturbing to some viewers.
One of us is in deep trouble.
We lack discipline. It's time now to turn this mush into muscles.
You're a fucking choir boy, telling me. A choir boy. Stop being such a pussy.
Viewer discretion is advised.
This is Gene Simmons. And this is Paul Stanley. Hey, what about me? Ack! No, never mind those guys. They're just employees of ours. Employees, you see? Yes. Well, that's right. So this is Gene Simmons, and this is Paul Stanley from KISS, and you're watching Dr. FUKK News. SHMACKEMAGOB. Ack! Hey, I wrote the biggest hit.
SHMACKEMAGOB, it's time for the only news that matters, and I want to thank 20LH for that SHMACKEMAGOB intro. That was quite interesting. And guess what? That's the last SHMACKEMAGOB intro I have as of now. So please, if you want to put a SHMACKEMAGOB intro on the news, send it to this email here, and I'll put it up in order it was received. So do it now, and you'll be up next week, because I'm totally out. So now, let's get into the only news that matters. And some sad news. Paul Stanley's dad, William Eisen, has passed away at 101 years old and 7 months. And very sad, but still, he lived a long life, man. And my dad's going to be 86 next month, and I really hope he makes it to 101 or beyond. So my condolence to Paul and his family. Australia also did a post about it, saying, wanted to express my deepest sympathy and condolences to Paul and his family and friends for the passing of his father, William, who I had many conversations with over the years. He will be greatly missed by everyone who knew him. Rest in peace, William Eisen, and God bless. Very classy, as well as Peter Criss, who made a post saying, we are very sad to hear the passing of William Eisen. May he rest in peace. Our thoughts and prayers with Julia, Paul, and the entire family. God bless Peter and Gigi. Very, very classy. Now, the reason why this is the only news that matters, because the next thing I want to talk about, unlike other news networks, I'm not going to say this is actually legitimate. I saw these posts that it's supposed to be Paul Stanley's sister. I don't know if it is or not, but this is what the post said. First one said, Paul Stanley is an asshole. He did not inform me that our father passed away at 12:19 this afternoon. I hate him. He will pay for this. Then she says, so my father, William Eisen, passed away at 12:19 this afternoon. No one called me. My brother didn't tell me. I hate all of you. Again, this is why this is the only news that matters. Y'all know I always goof on Paul Stanley. I always do. I always say his name a certain way. I'm always goofing on him with all the hypocrisy and stuff he says. But here I'm going to defend him. If this is in fact true, if this is in fact his sister, she seems like a whack job. Now, I remember hearing that she spent time in mental institutions and so on, but just the way she ends it with, I hate all of you. Now, why would Paul Stanley inform her on anything? And then I see this person ask her a question saying, has your brother Stanley ever used his massive wealth to help you in any way? And she said, yes, he has helped me tremendously with monthly support, but he cannot give himself in any way. Sad, right? Well, hell, that's awesome. Hey, Paul doesn't want to have nothing to do with you, but he still sends you money because you are his sister. I think that's very commendable. Not to get personal here, but I have a cousin I don't talk to anymore because he ripped off my parents. My parents forgave him because my parents are saints, but I never will. Yeah, this chick does not seem to be a party. That is, if it is actually her. I have to say that for the sake of the only news that matters. There is a chance this is not Paul Stanley's sister. I don't want to put her out there like this is actually a fact. But hey, what if it is her? She doesn't sound like somebody I would want to invite over for a chat. But either way, even if it is her, I send her my condolences as well. Rest in peace, William Eisen. Okay, let's get to the next story. The fine people at Unchained Tapes have just released Thrash or Die's second album, Melting Your Skull, on cassette. And I love the graphics. You see it says VHS. It's not a VHS, it's a cassette. I listened to it. It sounds phenomenal. They sent me a bunch of copies and it's on sale now. For only $8, you can't beat that, can you? So on the description below, I put a link so you can order yours. Buy or die. Next story. Nikki Sixx said Guns N' Roses once considered recording a cover of Motley Crue's Stick to Your Guns. But the reason they ended up not recording it because they listened to it and said, shit, this sucks. Nikki Sixx is also writing a children's book to teach kids about diversity. What's he gonna say? Hey kids, wanna be successful like me? Well, do what I do. Lie your ass off. Next story. Scorpions released a new music video for the new single, Peacemaker. I watched it and I really dug it. I haven't liked anything from the Scorpions since really Love at First Sting, and even that album was half-baked. I liked, maybe 3-4 songs off it. But, to me, the last great Scorpions album was Blackout. Now, this song didn't, blow my mind, but it's definitely better than anything I've heard since, let's say, Coming Home off of Love at First Sting. So, I'm curious to hear the rest of the album. Hopefully, it's solid, man. Now that they got Mickey D on drums, it makes it very promising. So, I'm looking forward to that. All right, next story. Nico McBrain to perform Iron Maiden classics at Rock and Roll Ribs 12th anniversary celebration. Now, I've been to several of these anniversaries of Rock and Roll Ribs. I absolutely love Rock and Roll Ribs. That's my favorite rib joint ever. It has nothing to do with it because it's Nico McBrain. It actually is the best damn ribs I ever ate. And it's reasonably priced. The place is awesome. A lot of Maiden memorabilia all on the wall, and they have the Mummy Eddie there, and they have the gold records and so on. It's a really, really cool place, and every time I go there, there's hardly any metalheads. It really is kind of like a family restaurant. I see a lot of families there, but and I've been to these anniversaries. The last one I was at, Pat Travers played. It was cool stuff. So I happen to know a few people that are playing with Nico at the anniversary, and he's going to be throwing out songs that Maiden hasn't done forever, and possibly songs they've never played. So I'll be sure to go to that and have me some of them delicious ribs. All right, final story. David Ellefson, on the fallout of his sex video scandal, he said, "Now I know how Jesus felt." If you know how Jesus felt, your new band should have been called Second Coming. And David's a preacher. He should know a lot about religion, and I guess he forgot the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not compare yourself to my son if you like to jack off over a phone. Well, that does it for the news, my friends. Thank you all for watching. Check out my podcast, the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast, and the VIERA Vault. And if you'd like to donate, I got a PayPal in the description below, right under how you can order your Thrash or Die Melting Your Skull cassette for only $8. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I would totally appreciate that. So listen to Black Sabbath and stay frosty. Then, SHMACKEMAGOB!
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain.